This is my 1958 Triumph Perfekt portable typewriter. I bought this typewriter I think now about 5-6 years ago. It was 2012, and I bought it for something ridiculously cheap, like $5. That's what I bought it for, at a junk store of all places. Unfortunately, that also meant that some employee at the store either accidentally or aggressively threw the typewriter around or dropped it, and as sad as it is, broke the case on it. There's a big crack that runs across the face of the case. Maybe I can show you here. The thing is, these typewriters are so built that the typewriter itself wasn't impacted, but as you can see, there's just a big crack that runs across the case, and there's one in the bottom panel as well. So it's not really good for carrying it around anymore. Either if I was to glue it or not, I wouldn't trust it with the typewriter, as it is just, it has a weak spot now. However, the typewriter came with a owner's manual, and this owner's manual is in German, because I assume it has been imported at some point. I don't know if you noticed already, but the keyboard on the typewriter has QWERTZ, which is the German keyboard layout, and it also has the accents and the additional characters that you need for the language. On the normal English keyboard you have QWERTY, which, as most of you know, is also used in the Dutch language. But the manual is illustrated, so for anybody with a little bit of imagination, they can formulate what the instructions are through that. For example, there's instructions here on how to install your ribbon. As you can see, you do not need to understand any of the text really, because it's quite clear how you do that. How you unlock the case is also pictured here very well. And then here on the back page, behind the notes, which haven't been used, there is a layout of the typewriter and all its functions, of course in German. So I understand it a little bit because I speak Dutch, but I can imagine that a person whose only language is English, it might be a little bit difficult to understand. These typewriters are incredibly well made. This particular machine, like I said, I think it's been imported from Germany at one point. I'm surprised at the build quality. It really resembled their cars, for example, as well. It's really something that cannot be compared to any other typewriter. Even comparing it to a modern day portable computer or laptop, it doesn't even make sense comparing that, because these things are so well built that I like to say, if the bomb goes, these things will be left standing. And you know what? I think it's truthful as well, because if you open up the cover, you can see that the way this has been manufactured, the way this has been designed, it's designed to be used a lot and to be able to take a beating if it needs to be. They've designed the body in such a way that it folds underneath the cover inside the mechanism, just to keep the dust out if the cover is off. And I cleaned this machine 5 years ago. When I just got it, I took it all apart, I cleaned it, I put it back together. I used it a lot, but I haven't really done anything to it, hence why there's a little bit of dirt in the segment. But I looked into the mechanism recently, and it's still dust free, so it does definitely work. Besides that, it just looks wicked. The spools on these machines are almost universal, except the pivots on which they sit and which they turn around. They seem to be a little bit bigger than the normal pins that spools sit on. So the spools that you see that are on there, those are the ones that came with the machine. Now, as you can see, here's the cover. It's in beautiful condition, no cracks or anything that I think these are known to have. These typewriters are related to the Optima Elite number 3 from roughly around the same era, and I know those had weak spots in their covers, but this one is still fully intact and in beautiful condition. I love the design on these. These typewriters have suede inner lining for soundproofing, and it's just beautiful. I think it's suede. It's not foam or anything like that. It really feels like a fabric, and it's incredibly soft. And it does the trick, because this typewriter, to my ears, it's not very loud. It seems to be louder with the cover off than with the cover on. So it seems to have some functionality. Now, This typewriter has the ordinary features such as a color selector from red, stencil and black. You have your tabulator and your tab sets here, and your tab clear. Backspace. Then you have your paper bill here. And then here's your paper release, which automatically raises the paper bill in order for you to be able to slide out your page easily without crumpling it. Then you have your margin sets here in the back. Two-sided carriage release here and here. Here are your margin sets. This is an all clear switch, which is used for the tabulator. If you have multiple tabs set and you want to clear them all at once, you do not need to have to clear them each individually. You can just pull this lever and the job is done. Besides that, you have well, there's a tag here at the bottom. As you can see, it says Triumph, Werke Nuremberg, AG Nuremberg. And then there should be a tag here, but it's missing, so I'm not sure what that said. And the tag here, which should indicate the model type, is also missing. So I grabbed a piece of paper and some yellow see-through tape just to make it look a little bit better. And then yes, besides that, you have 1.5 and 2 spaces and a nice long carriage return. Besides that, just you have to feel one of these machines to appreciate them mechanically. I mean, cosmetically, it already looks beautiful to my eyes. I love the way the cover forms around the machine. Just it has its own touch, and it really does work very nicely. Here's the underside machine, as you can see. Escapements here. That's the bell. These are the springs for your keys, key bars, and this is, as you can see, the space mechanism. And the feet are also in very good condition still. Subtle, the rubber is still quite flexible, so that's definitely a plus. Anyways, that's it. That's the 1958 Triumph. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for a quick typing sample that I've done, and I hope you stick around for the next one. Have a good day. Bye bye.